What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Goods XY. Back in the building, man. Look, y'all already know the boy been hustling. The boy been grinding, putting out content for y'all. I'm trying to drop something every day. You know how it goes. So, working behind the scenes, doing what I gotta do, because y'all keep supporting, man. So that's why I keep going. But look, I was waiting for this drop, to be honest, man. I was waiting for this drop from my dog Curtis King, man. And this video is Ja Rule deserves an apology from hip hop. Justice for Ja Rule. Now listen, when I first saw Curtis King mention this video and that it was gonna drop, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then I sat back for a moment and I thought, right? I was sitting there thinking like, maybe we do owe Ja Rule an apology, dog. I never would have thought I would have said that because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it honest, bro. Back in the days, I was one of the ones out there screaming G-Unit, because it was the thing to say. Don't come at me, don't get me wrong. It was the thing to say. No, I ain't gonna sit here and act like I wasn't yelling out G-Unit. I never really thought about it until Curtis mentioned it. And I'm like looking back at everything that's going on with Drake, the lawsuit, the defamation, all the soft shit that's going on, or like Wayno said, all the Drake shit that's going on, because Drake is the new word for soft. And listen, the people that sit back and are saying like, yo, y'all keep talking about Drake doing this and saying that, bro, Drake brought all this on himself, so I don't feel no types of ways, man. I'm just speaking my mind and saying whatever I gotta say, bro. It's just little old me, dog. I ain't nobody. But you know what? I wanted to watch this because I wanted to see the points that Curtis King made on this. This is gonna be real interesting, and I'm wondering if it's gonna change my perspective on Ja Rule. Fan of the Dipset thing going on, the locks, like these groups, these collectives. It was always great because if you had like a favorite artist within that group, you had all these other artists that you learned to like appreciate their music within the group. If you was heavy on Lloyd Banks, you knew that Lloyd Banks would drop, and then you knew that at some point after that, Young Buck was going to drop, and after that, 50 might drop, and after that, The Game might drop. It was a great time for hip hop. But let's go to Curtis King video and let's see what he got to say about Ja Rule, man. This should be interesting, man. Let's go. Shout out to Curtis King, man.
Brought a very unique sound to the game, and it got me really thinking about not just Ja Rule, the artist, but then also Ja Rule in the way that his, eventual decline happened, at least in mainstream rap, and the way that so many people switched up. I made a tweet, kind of like just hammering this home, and I said this, and Ja Rule hit me up. I said, I feel like I've owed Ja Rule an apology since 2002. The way I let 50 Cent switch my support up was inexcusable. Hashtag justice for Ja. Hashtag he never sued nobody.
That's crazy. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, Ja Rule's probably sitting back waiting like, damn, finally somebody said that shit. Finally somebody on my motherfucking side, bro. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that hurricane called G-Unit came through, they had everybody riding, bro. Everybody was on board, man. And Ja Rule, man, they was getting done dirty.
And then somebody tagged him, and I was like, he ain't gonna see that. And then he saw it. Shout out to Ja Rule. And I said, you know what? I hope he don't think I'm playing when I say this, cause I'm not playing. I'm looking at this now from an adult lens and realizing we might have made the wrong person famous. Yeah. Now, 50 has done an amazing job of, teaching entrepreneurship. He's given us a lot of great music before he eventually got into TV, a great TV show. Everything happens for a reason. But it's got me thinking like, damn, I slick switched up. That's what I told him in response to that before we get to this video where I really want to break it down because I want a different perspective. I said, brother, you blessed us with amazing music for years. You filled a void in sound and hip hop that was needed. And then when the tide shifted, you didn't switch up. You didn't sue nobody. You didn't go to Interscope and say, this is all a plot to bring me down. You didn't do that. Hip-hop fans owe you long overdue respect, and if they don't want to do it, I'm going to give it a long overdue respect. Thank you, Ja. Round of applause for Ja Rule.
I can feel where Curtis coming from with this. I don't think I ever looked at it like I don't respect Ja Rule. I think that wave was just so strong that it convinced everybody that the cool thing was to listen to G-Unit and 50. It was like the cool thing. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man, like just the music was kind of undeniable, man. The way they came through and did what they did, the music that they gave us, the coming through with the group. Listen, man, that marketing was on point. The marketing they had was was on point. Whatever they did, it was there. Like, I think 50's timing was just like impeccable. Like, the timing was crazy. Like, the fact that 50 came through with the group G Unit, Eminem was on his side, Dr. Dre was there. It was undeniable. That wave was just something that Ja Rule and Murder Inc., even though there's respect for what he did, they couldn't keep up. They couldn't keep up. Also, on top of that, they mocked the shit out of Ja Rule. The stuff they were saying about Ja Rule made people look at it like, damn, you know what? You're right. We don't like that singing. And then 50 came through and sung to us all. 50 said, yo, I'ma sing my own shit. And then everybody was like, yeah, G Unit. They had us, man. Listen, I can admit, they had us, man. They had us. But I like where you going here, Curtis. I like where you going here.
I'm dead ass serious right now. I'm so serious. At first, it might have started off like a little bit like I was joking or whatnot. But honestly, why we stop messing with him? Because a new guy came in and told us he ain't real, y'all. Newsflash. None of these niggas is real. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit disrespectful. Newsflash. It's entertainment. Newsflash. That's not what made the music sound better. The music sounded good because the music sounded good. All I'm saying is group thinking. Yes, thank you, Afro Butterfly. If we really dice it up, that man provided music. I mean, from holla, like since I was literally in middle school. Remember getting ready for middle school, going to Curtis Middle School, and I would listen to his music. Then getting into high school, he provided music for a long time. Records with Jay-Z and all that, and the entire industry switched up on him. And you know what? He didn't go sue nobody like Drake did. There's some things that I can't deny, the mistakes that he made, but how many of us have been in his position? How many of us knows what it's like to be on top? How many of us had the foresight that something like this could even happen, where they could literally have you being at the top of the game and then wipe out your influence just like that? And I don't care if hip-hop wants to grow up. I'm growing up and I'm hip-hop. What I'm doing is trying to humanize it, because I think for the longest, I let kind of like another hip-hop lens dehumanize that situation. And I'm like, damn, it can happen to literally anybody, even somebody as big as a Drake. After 15 years of pulling the wool over people's eyes, all of a sudden, everything has switched up. If it can happen to them, it can happen to anyone. I'm just at this point really curious, because I don't really think I ever dug into his story. What if 50 Cent is the reason why, allegedly, the reason why Drake went to that legal route, since he was so close and he was giving him all this information? It makes the perspective of him being on Big Boy's radio show and holding up the op list. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes you look a little bit weird under the light. Like, why are you so involved in this and it doesn't involve you?
Z and DMX, and was important in helping their careers at Def Jam. That's when Russell Simmons decided to give Irv his own imprint and let him start his label, Murder Inc. When Murder Inc. first launched in 1998, Irv knew exactly who he wanted as his first signee, and he chose Ja Rule to be the label's main artist. During his time with Murder Inc., clear exactly where the problem started, since both rappers have a different story, but they both grew up in Queens and knew a lot of the same people. A few different events forced them to pick sides, and they ended up beefing over their affiliations. It all started when Ja got his chain stolen at gunpoint in 50's neighborhood, Southside Jamaica, Queens. According to Ja, he was hanging out in 50's hood because he knew people in the area. He spotted a dude that he knew named Troy, who was from the Baisley Park projects. Troy had just gotten out of prison, so he told Ja to come chop it up with him. But when he got into his car, Troy pulled out a gun and accused Ja of sleeping with his girl while he was locked up. Ja denied it, but Troy forced him to give up his chain before letting him go.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's wild, yo. Nah, yo, you sleeping with my girl? Yo, I heard you sleeping with my girl. Nah, yo, I ain't sleeping with your girl. All right, get the fuck out, man. Give me that chain, though. Give me that chain, though, man. Bro, I told you I ain't sleep, my nigga. Give me the fucking chain. That's wild, though. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. I did kind of hear that the story started out like that, but I mean, what are you gonna do, man? What comes with the territory, right?
50 Cent filed a protection order. Now, I do feel like someone said it earlier. You stand by your leaving of the 50 Cent of the Ja Rule support because of Irv. Irv definitely has some things happen that a lot of people are like scratching their head at, from the way that he talked about Ashanti in some of these interviews, from a lot of the specifics that people are like, yo, what's going on with your character? Not about what you've done as an executive, not about what you've done in your position, but like your character. But at the same time, I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is making it more volatile, but I understand why. You're in a position where you're trying to compete. You're in a position where you now feel you feel a heat from another side, and they got Munyon. 50 Cent signed for Munyon.
Yeah, he did.
Eminem stamped that one day one. Dr. Dre said, I need in on this. That's dangerous.
Yeah, because listen, if y'all remember back in the day, like we talking talking about In the Club coming out as like the lead single. No, Wanksta. It started with Wanksta. But what people don't understand is this wave that they had going on, D and G Unit, this just started way before those singles. Like the mixtapes was hitting, bro. I'm telling you, I'm from Miami, 305. The mixtapes was out there, bro. Like whatever they had up there in New York, they had them down in Miami. Like the mixtapes was out there. That's how crazy these mixtapes was. It was like one person would talk about it, then everybody was talking about it. And what they was doing around that time was so different from what everybody else was doing. Like they was literally like rapping over beats that the typical person wouldn't rap over. Like he was rapping over like freaking Tone type stuff, bro. Like they was rapping, but they was being creative with it. Nobody was really doing the mixtapes and turning these freestyles into actual songs and then putting them on a mixtape and just throwing them out there, bro. Like they was literally feeding the streets. So honestly, I don't know how this would have went any other way for Ja Rule. Even if people started to be like, yeah, I still fucks with Ja Rule. It's just at the end of the day, they flooded the industry with music and it was good music. And then you got these mixtapes in the midst of like them prepping the album. And then when the album came out, it was like, yo. And then it was at the point where everybody wanted to scream out G Unit, man. I'm telling you. And they were just signing motherfuckers left and right. Like it was a movement. It was a movement. So I don't know how Ja Rule could have came through with this, but you know, 50 Cent also did a lot of different things, man. They also like made it uncool. Like the shit Ja Rule was doing, like, you know, the videos, and like Curtis King said, like he was transitioning at the time from like being more of a pop artist and writing for different people. So they used that against him. And you know, with him like singing and, you know, in the rain singing all those rainy days, like that shit right there, they used that against him. On the flip side, you could say, yo, that's talent right there, yo. The fact that he could rap like this and then switch it up like that, that's talent. That's not how they was looking at it. They was looking at it like, look at this singing ass nigga, man, Cookie Monster. Cause that's what 50 Cent and G Unit was saying. They was telling you, yo, he ain't about that. He ain't this. He sound like the Cookie Monster when he sing. Like, that's what they was doing. And then 50 Cent hit you with Candy Shop.
Hey girl, don't you stop. Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa.
And nobody said a damn thing. So I get it. Listen, Curtis, I get where you going with this, man. I get where you going with this because I know that time. I remember those times, man. I'm telling you.
Because it's almost like he got the support of being a West Coast artist, even though he's from New York. You're getting the Jimmy Iovine treatment. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he did.
That probably was the day he said, bro, they trying to get me out of here. I bet you Josh said, these motherfuckers trying to get me out of here. It's my time. Kind of like what you're seeing with Drake.
It was later revealed that the protection order did exist, but it was done for him by the NYPD without 50 requesting it. But to many hardcore rap fans, it didn't matter, and it still hurt his buzz at the time. So,
and see, that's what I was trying to tell, like, because some people was mentioning that. They was mentioning the fact that, you know, saying, didn't he do an order of protection or whatever? But sometimes you don't have to go in there and say, I want an order of protection. Like, they can write one on your behalf. Like, not even on your behalf. They could write one without you asking for it. So that's what it was later revealed as for 50 Cent. I know that has been circling for a long time that he filed for order of protection, but that's been proven otherwise.
So 50 soon clapped back with the track I Smell Pussy.
See, and this is what I'm talking about. This track right here, man, if you haven't heard this track was wild. I smell, is that you, Ja? I smell, like, come on, man. They was killing it, yo. They was killing it.
Pussy.
And these fucking songs were so good.
See?
You know, that's like,
Curtis,
I'm not sitting up here trying.
Curtis knows. See, look, Curtis knows, man. Me and Curtis come from the same time. Curtis knows, man. Like, yo, we was listening to the same things. Like, 50 Cent is the future, man. Listen, come on, man. It was, bro, whatever they did, we believed. We believed, dog. We believed it.
These songs were so good.
Yeah.
Like, they were so well written. They were so catchy. They were funny. They felt like a very different energy than what we were getting from Ja at the time, right? They were so good. These mixtape airs, I listened to these, and he had one of the most impressive lyricists of the time, a young Lloyd Banks.
Lloyd Banks.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Sitting in the back, hiding the gas field. I was listening to all of these, man.
Yo, that's a good impression, yo. Lock you in a closet with a West Nile mosquito.
Yes, I can let the tech pound your ego. Lock you in a closet with the West Nile mosquito.
Yo, come on, man. Yo, Come on, man. Yo, come on, man.
All of these, and it was so good. And so, like, that's to me, that's part of the hypnotization of music too.
In the mixtape, The Future Is Now, he didn't hold back and called out Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and Black Child by name on the intro, taking the beef to a new level. By 2003, 50 was on his way to becoming the biggest rapper of all time after he released his debut album.
2003 was a big year. It was a big year. This is where it all shifted.
Get Rich or Die Trying, which sold 872,000 copies in the first week.
Man, look, Curtis Snow, man. Listen, man. Listen to how I fuck with Curtis. I know what he feeling right now, man. I remember this time. This time was insane. This was an insane time. Just looking at this damn screenshot of Wankster, bro. Like, I remember this time when Wankster came out. This shit had everything on lock. Everything stopped. Everything stopped. I'm not joking when I say that. Everything stopped. It was just stuck. It was stuck. I'm telling y'all, man, like, it was stuck. That was a crazy time.
872,000 copies. Mind you, this is the physical error. I took the bus, the Downey Link, to go to Warehouse Music to go buy the physical copy of this CD where you had to take it up to the person. $14.55 might have been $20. Oh my gosh.
It was one of the biggest albums of the year, and it also put his beef with Ja in the spotlight after he dissed him on tracks like Life's on the Line and Back Down. On Back Down, 50 went at Ja and Murder Inc. by questioning their street cred and made it clear he wasn't gonna drop the beat. He rapped, "The game's all fucked up now. What we gonna do now? How we gonna eat, man?" 50 back around.
That's Ja little punk ass, you know. Southside Top Down, that's just how I get down. Yo, man, I'm trying to be with you on this one, man, about Ja Rule, but now I'm starting to realize, bro, the music was so good. The music was so good, dog. I don't know now, bro. I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted, man. I'm conflicted. One side of me want to say sorry just for hip-hop like Ja. You know what? My bad, dog. But the music was so good, man.
I swear to you, at that time, this is where I gotta apologize, Ja, but I gotta be real. At that time, I thought I was part of G-Unit. I bought one of them ugly ass white beaters. I bought one of them ugly ass tank tops. Ugly ass tank tops.
Oh, yo, Curtis, I'm gonna have to back up on that one. I ain't buy the tank top. I didn't buy the tank top. I ain't go that far. I wanted the tank top. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here in front. I wanted the tank top, dog. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't think I was able to afford it. I don't think my mom's was fucking with it, bro.
I don't know what made me in my young 18-year-old brain think that I had the same arms as 50 Cent. But I sure bought that ugly ass tank top, and I bought them damn knockoff K-Swisses looking shoes. And I was like,
damn, you had the G-Units too?
Where's my wave cap? I was so young and impressionable. I noticed me and my friends started talking like 50 Cent. Yeah, you trying to go get a pizza in the cafeteria? Yeah, I'm trying to get a pizza in the cafeteria. My West Coast ass had no business. Did you get the jeans? No, I couldn't afford the jeans. I was overdoing it. But I remember I got my first G-Unit. My first G-Unit tank top. And I was like, yeah.
This just had the color of the Skittles on the side, bro. Nah, come on, Curtis.
Curtis King. I was on that time. I was hypnotized.
Mm-hmm.
I feel stupid now. I really do feel stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, but it is what it is. Like, we was impressionable, right? It's the same thing like when they came out with tall tees. That shit was a stupid ass era. I'm not proud of the tall tee era.
Oh my God.
If you from the South, I'm talking about Atlanta, Miami, all throughout down there. I don't know how much it went on in up north or on the West Coast, but the tall tee era was a crazy era. Oh! That era right there was something I'm not proud of, and I would not want to go back and find any type of images or footage of anything tall tee, bro. That shit was crazy. I remember my mom used to be like, why you your t-shirt so long? Why this, that? I was like, Mom, this is style right now. Don't wear that shit today. Looking stupid, yo.
Stupid. Oh, it was a great era, but I feel stupid. They made some amazing. The production was always chef's kiss.
Outside till I die, that's just how I get down. But while 50's career was exploding, Ja's position in the rap
game
got
a headband
to fall off. A few months
Did you wear it upside down? I showed it.
Before, in November 2002, he released his fourth album, The Last Temptation. Although it did well commercially, it only sold 237,000 and debuted at number 4 on Billboard.
I wonder if this is if Drake did any kind of studying at all. I wonder if this is what he studied and he said, don't put an album out. If you saw right now, Ja Rule released an album after 50 Cent's debut that did his 50 Cent's debut did 800,000 sales in 1 week. That wasn't the reason why sales were so important, because they were physical. People physically walked into the store and got this music. It was a reflection of their support, physical support for what you're doing. That's your buzz at the time. To contrast that, Ja Rule, I think they said sold what, 200,000? Can you imagine if Drake would have put out that P&D album, the collab album, and after Kendrick did whatever numbers he did, he significantly had less?
Yeah,
the public opinion would have been in the trash. So what does Drake's smart ass do?
Yo, da, 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 da.
It didn't work. It didn't work. But you know what he did.
We could argue that that's probably significantly a worse step than actually putting out the album. The album probably would have been even a smarter move. And then on top of that, would have been an album with him and P&D. So y'all know if it didn't do well, he could just blame it on the fact that it was a joint album. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it would have been a better idea to do the album. But if this is the route you went with, my guy, it is what it is.
He put cases on all you mother effers.
Muta #4 on Billboard. That made it less successful than his last album, Pain is Love, and nothing close to the numbers that 50 was about to sell.
So not only did he sell less than 50 Cent, who was there was no, I don't think there was a chance he was going to sell more than 50 Cent because 50 Cent had Munyon behind him. He had Jimmy Iovine, he had Interscope, he had Eminem, he had Dr. Dre. Like, there's no, and then at the same time, like, Dr. Dre's not always popping out with production. There was going to be a demand just for Dr. Dre and Eminem and their new artists.
Yeah.
He was on fire. Not only did Ja Rule sell less than him, but he also sold less than he sold from his last album, which in the eyes of the industry, they're looking at that as, oh, that's an obvious decline.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with that or not, that's the way I think it was viewed.
50 came out of nowhere and took over the rap game, and he was there and Ja out any chance he got.
Afro Butterfly, imagine that. You said there's no way that Kendrick or that Drake would have outsold GNX. Imagine if he would have tried, and a surprise album by Kendrick dominates the sales. I sell more than you. I got songs with more circulation than you, and we released at the same time. Imagine that.
Insane.
He might have still been having 2 lawsuits out here. Imagine. Yeah, he had the 100 gigs for your head top. Imagine he put 18 songs out since this battle. None of them have cracked top 20. Do you know how bad the optics would have been?
Ja decided to clap back on record, and that's when he dropped the diss track, Loose Change.
So I'm gonna be real. This is where I think, honestly, even though like I feel like Ja Rule started to decline when he started to go back at 50 and do all this stuff. This is where I feel like he fucked up. Like, I'm keeping it real. This is where I feel like he fucked up and he lost everybody. And I love that. I love that this conversation is coming up and we making the comparisons, because the more like I go through this video and hear what Curtis is saying, like, I'm starting to make the comparison and feel like this is just like Drake's situation, but without the defamation, right? Because it's almost like Drake is doing most of the things that happened with 50 Cent and Ja Rule. Says some things, everybody is like, yeah, yo, that is this, yeah, you know what, you right. He do be crying, he do be doing this, he do be doing that. And now you have a situation where we saw it with Drake. Drake, instead of focusing on Kendrick, he started focusing on all these other people at the same time. And then you want to cry about it being a 20v1. Nah, bro, eat your food. Focus on what you got. But he went elsewhere. And I feel like that's where Ja Rule messed up. When Ja Rule started going at 50 Cent and Eminem, like, bro, and we're not even talking about everybody that was involved in that. We just talking about 50 Cent and Eminem. 50 Cent and Eminem, we talking about a guy right now who is a giant, who is on fire. And then you're going to go at Eminem at the same time, who's already a juggernaut in the game. And you might be looking at that like, oh, okay, yeah, he took those two. Bro, ended up beefing with 50 Cent, Eminem, Busta Rhymes, Obi Trice. Like, all these people was taking turns on Ja. Pause. But they was taking turns, man. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Eminem destroyed Ja on record. Busta Rhymes destroyed Ja on record. I don't know if y'all remember, it was the Hail Mary track that they came out with. They all got on that track and destroyed Ja. So that was a bad time for him, but I think this was a miscalculation by him by trying to focus on everybody else, even if they threw their little jabs in there. I feel like, yo, ignore that. Focus on what you got to focus on, because you got one person you got to fry. And if you can't fry him, you can't go try to fry the people above him. I don't know. This was a miscalculation by Ja, and I feel like this is what ultimately did him in.
On the song, he not only dissed 50, but also took shots at Eminem, Dr. Dre, Busta Rhymes, and even M's daughter, Haley.
See, just like the Drake thing, you go in that family, bro. You thought you went at Eminem daughter, and you thought he wasn't gonna come back for your shit. Come on, man.
Man.
Look at that line. You claim your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a known slut. So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up? My God, Ja, I know you probably wrote that and felt like, yo, this is a cool line for me to say. But this one, dog, this the one that jacked you up, dog. This the one that did you in, my guy. This the one that fucked you up. Not gonna lie.
At the time, I think my thing was, because remember there was an interview he didn't cover. There was an interview where they asked Ja about 50 Cent. He was like, man, I ain't worried about that, bro. We making too much money. We own something, bro. I ain't worried about none of that. And then people was like, nah, you gotta say something. Then when 50 sold more records, it's like you can't call him the little dog no more. You gotta say something.
Yeah.
So I think he felt the need, especially because look, it's like now it's a fight for my position, is what I'm assuming it is. It's a fight for my position. This guy is a new hotshot. They saying I'm not him no more. I need to show y'all that I really got it like that. And unfortunately, a lot of those songs I felt like fell supremely short in quality compared to the ones at 50. That's just my unbiased opinion. They fell short in terms of quality, and the timing still felt late.
Yeah.
Not to mention that clapback video. I'm pretty sure there's things that he would take back. I wonder if he'd take back that clapback video.
Clapback was,
because
I remember
the amount of baby oil.
Yeah.
I don't know why he was shirtless with that bat. Whew, if I ever met Ja Rule, I just, first of all, I say I'm sorry, but then I'm still gonna have to stand on business. Why'd you have all that baby oil in that video, bro? This is not the time to oil up, Mr. Rule.
Yo, for real, it was bad timing for the oil, bro. Bad timing for the oil.
This is not the time. With all due respect. I was like, man, it's over.
Raps, and you claim your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a known slut. So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up?
That was the final straw right there. Because then you started summoning Eminem?
Yep. See,
you started summoning Eminem?
Yep. Terrible move.
Everybody makes mistakes. I think that was one of them. That should have been a one-on-one.
That was a big mistake.
The moment he said, you claim your mother's a crackhead and Kim's a known slut. What's Haley gonna be when she grows up? Eminem said, bet.
Yeah.
He said, bet. Oh yeah? Bet. That was because the Eminem that we got, he gave him so much vitriol. It's over then. 50 Cent was already signs of the end. Eminem getting involved? Oh,
kill
Lord,
shot.
Why you didn't got the white boy involved? You know he crazy.
Sending shots at 50 was one thing, but going after M and Busta Rhymes was a huge mistake.
Busta Rhymes killed him too.
A week later, 50 responded along with Eminem and Busta
Mary.
Rhymes on the song Hail Mary. On the song, they made fun of Ja's love for Tupac by referencing one of his classic songs. They also went for the kill, blasting Ja for being a fake gangster. And
I'll be honest with you. I, as a big Tupac fan, me and my best friend at the time, my homie Keaton, we used to talk about this because we used to listen to Murder Inc. and then we listened to G Unit. That used to kind of set us, it kind of like had us like feeling a certain way as hip hop fans, like as diehard West Coast hip hop fans, as artists in the making, and a diehard of a Tupac. It was like, you can't like, bro, you can't take that position. You remind us a little bit of that kind of energy, but you can't take that position though, bro. Like that's still, he was doing things like, I think even like the roles he was playing in certain movies like Fast and Furious, he was like evoking like the Tupac voice and all this, and it was like, nah, bro, nah.
Yeah, you know, it was also like, you know, showing up with I think the bandana, bro, used to throw people off. When Ja Rule used to show up with that bandana tied up in the front like Pac, I think that's what did it for everybody. Like, also what you saying, like invoking the voice and doing all that stuff, yeah, that was part of it too. But when he used to show up with that bandana, I know people wasn't fucking with that. I'm just keeping it real. I know people wasn't fucking with that. And I think all this stuff added up, and it just helped like G-Unit and 50 just destroy him completely. It helped them destroy him completely.
It's okay to be Tupac adjacent. Don't try to be Tupac though. And I think that's how a lot of us read it though.
Wannabe. 50 raps. Motherfuckers thinking they can stop 50, they losing it. Little nigga named Ja think he live like me. Talking about he left the hospital, took 9 like me. Going along with the Biggie vs Tupac theme, Ja responded with another diss called Guess Who Shot Ya, where he went at 50 over the Who Shot Ya instrumental. But even though Ja was clapping back, he couldn't compete with 50 and M. Later that year, Ja released his album.
Blood in my listen, man, yo, Curtis bringing me back with these albums, man. When Blood in My Eye came out, that's when I knew. Well, it was the one before that, but when Blood in My Eye came out, that's when I knew I was like, he ain't really listening to Ja Rule, dog. Like that's when I kind of left it, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of done. It's a wrap from here. Not gonna lie, that's when I knew it was kind of like a wrap, cause I wasn't even interested. I wasn't listening. It was done from there.
Blood in My Eye, which was basically dedicated to dissing 50 Cent and other rappers he had problems with.
Now you go from being on top and I ain't got time to respond back to this shit
to responding to
all
everybody.
of a sudden your whole existence. If you have a whole album dedicated to another artist,
that's crazy,
and you release it commercially, people gonna already look at that like you lost.
Yep.
You lost. You lost.
That's what happened.
You're hurt, I think is what people took that as. Now, he had every right to, of course, because like y'all are trying to crumble what we're doing here. We got street issues and we got industry issues. We got music issues. You try to embarrass me everywhere you go. You talking stuff. You saying crazy stuff. But I'm sure there's a lot of errors happening here. But it appears that it's not just errors that are happening right here. You said desperation. Yeah, it appears there's other things that happen behind closed doors as he getting ready to talk about. He probably had his fans who were like, bro, why you not singing? What are you doing? Like, dog, you're writing for Jennifer Lopez, who was a large, huge name at that time, even in music. Like, dog, you're the one. And he strayed away from that because I need my credibility. In a lot of ways, I think Drake felt that's what he was gonna get into. But the issue that I think that Drake made that's very different, because Ja Rule went about it and said, nah, I'm a rapper. I rap. I'm not going away from no fade. I rap. Let's do this. I'll give you a whole album full of bars. No. Kendrick gave a reaction to everything that Drake did. And then the last thing we heard from Drake was, God, this shit burnt the fuck out. I mean, you don't want to lie no more. Maybe we can get back to some rapping.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I'm sorry, Ja. You just wanted to rap, bro. You just wanted to rap. You wanted to rap at these niggas. This fucking high yellow ass nigga. I know I'm high yellow. This nigga said, they got raided too. I remember this. They got raided in the midst of their downfall. It's bad enough you getting pushed out the Def Jam building as a priority. Now you're getting raided and you're going to court. Can you imagine the things going on through these folks' minds? Like, I know that you got to have accountability for your relationships, but at the time, like, you got the hip hop police that are circulating around, and you kind of have to maneuver a different way. You talking about this is when people can see you in person, right? This is not the social media age where they put a camera up and that kind of protects you to a certain degree. No. I see you. There could be an issue, and you may even be getting picked up by somebody that look like they come into the show and they part of the hip hop police. That was a real thing. Insane. I've made this my new focus. Last year it was let's get ourselves off of streaming and let's go direct to consumer. I feel this one personal. I do feel this personally. I know it ain't none of my business. I know it puts me in a vulnerable position, but how beautiful, how poetic would it be if Ja Rule's demise was inevitably because of a guy named Curtis Jackson? And if somehow, some way, I could lend a hand with my platform, with my insight, with whatever I could provide value-wise, my production, what if somehow Curtis King could help? Not saying he needs my help. That's somebody that has achieved success I will never see. But I am somebody now that's looking at this from a different lens, and I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it. And when I don't like something and I feel like I have the ability to change course on it, I'm gonna do it. Or at least put the olive branch out there. Ja Rule deserves better treatment. And that's a crazy statement to say in 25 and a bit too late for some people. But I look at all them things that he went through and the fact that he's able to still have the opportunity to do what he loves, that's a blessing. 50 Cent is up too. 50 Cent did that shit, bro. He achieved things that the 1 percentile in rap will never achieve. It don't mean it. I mean, I know that in order to get to a billionaire status, you got to step on a lot of people. Some people are so poor, all they have is money and fame. Because outside of that, I don't know why you still would say anything about a Ja Rule. Who cares if you say something? That's shit. That's small fries of you, bro. You took care of that. You're done. He's done. There's no more. Like, he's not. You're done with music. You don't even do music no more. That's how petty that is. Yeah, all legends, but never perfect guys. That is true. I don't know, DIYers. I know it was a longer video, but I'm glad we did that. That to me feels like I felt like a moment of growth for me when I watched something like that. Those are my thoughts, though, DIYers. Let me know what you think.
Hey, shout out to Curtis King, man. That was a dope video. Obviously, like, if you want to see the whole breakdown that he has, please go to his channel. Make sure you subscribe. Shout out to Curtis King. I mean, I like the angle of this, and this kind of made me go back and remember a lot of things about that time. Like, that was a great time. And it was one of the big beefs in hip hop. Like, I know a lot of people talk about the, you know, beefs in hip hops. This was pretty much what we're seeing now with Kendrick and Drake. You know, that's why when this first started, everybody was saying, yo, Drake getting Ja Ruled, you know? And it's because they're making a comparison to what happened between 50 Cent and Ja Rule. And what 50 Cent did is he made it. I don't know if we could really credit 50 Cent for everything, but his timing was just the right timing. Like, he came in a wave where he came in with a different sound. He came in with the whole crew. Everybody in the crew was dope. And then as the crew got bigger, everybody wanted to hear whoever was in the crew. If you was part of G Unit, people wanted to hear you. That's how strong the movement was. Like, we talking about the Spider Lokes of the crew. Like, you know, these guys, people wanted to hear them, even if they didn't know them. But simply because they was on G Unit, people wanted to hear them. And, you know, it just was a movement that couldn't be stopped. And I think Ja Rule's missteps were shown here. Some of his missteps are, you know, going against too many people at once. But at the same time, you got to sit back and be like, what was he going to do? You know what I mean? Should he have not said anything? Like, you know, when you in the midst of it and everything's happening at that one time, you don't know exactly what to do, but you do whatever you think is right at that time. And it won't always be the best decision. You might have a misstep, and then you have a misstep and everything goes wrong, you know? So, I mean, justice for Ja Rule, possibly. I started out this video thinking like, you know what, Curtis on to something. But as I started watching, it just made me remember like why I kind of switched up, you know? And, you know, at the same time, Ja Rule has to take some of the blame for this too, because at the end of the day, Ja Rule also switched up, because instead of ignoring it and making the records that everybody knew him for and loved him for, he conformed to what they were saying. When they were saying like, oh, the singing shit ain't cool, oh, he just singing like the Cookie Monster, he stopped singing, you know? And he like Curtis King said, he dedicated that album to dissing his ops. And I think that's where people misstep and they miscalculate, man. And Drake, his miscalculation is suing. So yeah, interesting video, man. Shout out to Curtis King again, man. Great video. Listen, man, if y'all don't know about the 50 Cent G Unit times, please go back, do some research. Let me know if you remember the G Unit 50 Cent era. Let me know how you feel about it. Do you think that Curtis King is on point when he said we should have justice for Ja Rule? I definitely think Ja Rule deserves a little bit more respect, but I honestly don't see myself going back and listening to Ja Rule stuff, and that's just me being honest, man. I don't know. I just don't see it. But let me know in the comment section. Y'all already know it's your boy Goods. BigZoeTV. Let's go.
Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.